Yo, what's good? This is Limoblaze, and you're watching Rapzilla's Pen Game 101. Let's get it.
Yeah. Check the pin game, check the pin game. Got your favorite rappers going insane. Then we run the gauntlet like the end game. So what you waiting for? Check the pin game.
Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Justin. I'm the editor of Rapzilla, and we are back for episode 5 of Pen Game 101, and I'm back with the crew. 2 episodes in a row. Everyone's here. We got Luke DiMarzio, we got Cutright, and we got Eli Matos. And today we got that cross-continent connection of T.R.U.T.H and Limoblaze as they just dropped their joint project, Bridges. Super exciting to talk to them. We know T.R.U.T.H is going to bring it, and we know Limoblaze is going to add a perspective that we probably didn't even think of, coming from another part of the world. So we are pleased to bring this to you. So, of course, we're going to kick it off with Pen, where we break down the project. So the first song on this project is Stupid Love, and Luke is going to start us off.
This album just starts off with like an easy beat, got some marimbas in there. And then T.R.U.T.'s flow on here is really pause heavy and introspective. He's not really spitting yet. It's kind of like we're just getting used to this sound. The production is cool, and I dig the effects on the vocals.
Right. My thoughts, what I had thought was, I thought this was a cool song for an intro. I think it sonically let you know that you have officially walked into a different type of project. I hope you got your passport, stamp it. You know what I mean? And the creativity in naming the first song Stupid Love is mad creative, speaking on how God's love towards us doesn't make sense, but it's also kind of double entendre, because if you grew up in the hip hop culture in the 90s, saying something stupid before something always means it's a lot. Like, yo, I got stupid paid. I mean, you got paid a lot. So that was kind of dope nugget in the hook. Both came with super gospel-centered content from the jump, and I loved it. It was cool.
Yeah, man, just to build on what you guys were saying, I think that Afro beat sound, when it first hit, I was like, man, lyrics are a little hard to make out right now because I'm just vibing. I'm just enjoying what I'm listening to. I'm having a good time. The Stupid Love thing I definitely call is like, okay, so it's huge. That's the point. It's this huge love. It's beautiful. It's huge. It's epic. It's big. I think that T.R.U.T.'s bars, from what I did catch, were very Christianese, and not in a corny way, because I know, a lot of y'all have weird feelings about when we start talking Christianese. We ain't praying no hedge of protections over you right now. That's not what's going on. But I think I caught Never Knew a Love Like This. That's a very Christianese type thing. I think I heard him say we got love for the saints and the sickos. I might have misheard that, but I think that was in there. So yeah, I would say it's really just, this track is all about the church and the community, capital C church, so global church. And just wanting to have a good time with our praise.
All right, now let's get into that title track, Bridges.
Bridges, just this idea everything is going to be okay is kind of what I drew from this. There's a lot of singing. It sounds like summertime to me, like Elijah just said. It's just got vibes. Lots of gospel lyrics. I really dig the T.R.U.T.'s flow on this. Who am I to blame? Is it God or the devil? So much pain from the lies that they peddle. Life by life, hear the cries of the ghetto. Like Mike Tyson, knocked down, but we get up. Like, he just keeps going with that. It's easy. Like, I'm just reading it, and I can feel how that goes to the beat. Like, so I feel like he's just got one of these flows that he could just spit on anything. It's going to sound dope. So I just really like some of these lines, obviously.
That's why he's the CHH GOAT. You know what I mean? Well, one of them, yeah. But this joint, this Bridges joint, it made me feel like I was standing on Pride Rock, like looking down at all that the light touches. The sound, as soon as it came on, it took me back home to the motherland. And like sonically, like this joint took me on a journey. I was on a safari on this mug. You know what I mean? I love how Limo lays out the hook. He's been going through it, but he'll make it over this bridge because God is with him. And I feel like that a lot of us are on this bridge. Some people think about jumping off the bridge, but they know moving forward is moving towards the arms of the Father, This speaks not only to the situations that we face in life in general, but I also feel like this song is kind of in response to what's going on with Nigeria, with SARS, as a record to encourage those who are suffering, and also stateside, at least that's what I was hearing from it,
Yeah, I think if there's one thing that's been beautiful about almost all the episodes we've done of Pen Game so far, there's a lot of encouragement going on, which I guess is fitting for the time. Like Cut said, definitely a lot of encouragement in there. I think I caught a few lines. I think I got them right. Walking on Water is so deep, the hurt and the pain is so real, but I know my God is so real is a beautiful commentary on like the realities of hardship, but the nuance of knowing God is still good in spite of that hardship. I think I also caught Progress, the Beacon of Hope. And then God is coming like a thief in the night, which sounds wild out of context. If a non-Christian heard that, they'd be like, what are you talking about? But to understand that as a Christian and hear it amid everything that's going on right now, it really just is encouraging, like Cut said.
All right, and we got the next track, African Church Boy.
Yeah, just more summertime flavor here. Has a little more flavor to his flow there. He had some melody there, and it kind of breaks up this the sound a little bit for me, because I feel like now we're 3 tracks in and all these beats are pretty similar. And so I appreciated him changing his performance up a little bit to try to counteract that. But yeah, those are my thoughts so far.
I felt like this album was made for the dance hall. You know what I mean? Like, my wife is Liberian and she liked it as well. You know what I'm saying? I told her it was Nigerian. She's like, I still like it. Yeah, I mean, I was like, all right. I dug how the truth went down the line, sharing his experience from Bible studies, singing in the choirs, to rocking out, to the whinings and commission, because Running Back to You had you at the altar, bro. You know what I'm saying? And just kind of paint a quick glimpse of the life of Lil Truth back in the day. This Lil Truth, he was the Lil Truth, like that, you know what I mean? So it was dope. It was a dope record.
Yeah, I think Luke has summed this up pretty well with that term, the summertime vibe, right? And that's exactly what African Church is. So African Church is, it's a vibe. It's continuing the vibes. I love that it feels almost like sing-songing. I feel like I'm frolicking through a field or something. There's literally a point where I don't know if it was Limo or Truth off the top of my head, but I think it was Truth. It says gospel on the radio, la 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 la. Now I'm singing on the radio, and I was like so cool. I was like, this dude is literally just singing and enjoying himself on this song. I thought that was so dope. So continuing the encouragement, continuing the positive vibes, loving it so far.
Next track is Landmines.
Yeah, Landmines. I really appreciate some of the production choices, the effects that are put on the vocals here. And so when he says stuff like "Please be with me," and it's got like that effect to it, it just like it hits different. And I think he says throughout this, like in the hook, he says it was tragic, but you said it was worth it. Again, I appreciate the production. It just starts to sound the same. But needless to say, like with the melody and everything considered, and even the Truth's flow here at the end, where he starts out slow and then he goes to double time, like this is probably the best song up to this point. Like, this is really good.
I agree. I think that right before here, the first 3 tracks, it was, a celebration of African sound, but it kind of started sounding monotonous. So I kind of dug this record simply because of the change of tone. The other record was really bright. This had a kind of a darker sound, and every record is beautifully gospel centered, and this is no exception. Plus, as Luke pointed out, the true flow was super dope on this joint.
Yeah, man, we've talked a lot about like the sound and the vibe so far, but let me just say like this: Truth spit on this mess. He was going crazy on this. I love the pacing. I love the scheme that he was doing. There's a sequence where he's going, chose the blood, chose the blame, chose the cross, chose it all for me, and then he just keeps going on, and I couldn't catch up at that point. But then he ends it off with, "Who's to blame? Me." And I was like, oh man, that's just such the perfect encapsulation of Jesus being willing to take on our punishment, and I think it complements the song so well. And like you guys said, it's a great way to break up what's been like the trend of what's going on in this album so far.
Now we have Go Like.
This one was a little more appealing to my ears, and so this one just sounds more quintessential hip hop to me. So like it starts out, Limo is flowing now at the front of this song, and like it's really on point. And so for me, it shows his versatility by rocking the mic and then switching to melody straight away. He's got a singing voice really that comes from like within a little bit. He's got some guts to what he's doing, and so it's believable whenever he's doing this. I really like that. Man, but the issue that I have, even with all these performance things, the performance-wise is really dope, and there's a lot to digest. Sonically, it's just all sounding the same. Like, I think my ears are getting tired that way, and so I'm having to like intentionally listen in on the things that I want to be dope about these tracks. I feel like all of these tracks, if they were standing alone, they would be dope singles, but everything together is just so similar. It's really hard to like differentiate for me. But I really like this. So this last track and this track, I feel like are probably the strongest point in the album. and that how True starts out his flow, like it seems really profound. Like he's got like a tag that he's throwing on this. I ain't never felt a love so deep. I ain't never known a love so real. And then he goes into his flow. That just seems like some of this like foundational CHH that we're used to from the Truth.
Luke, I'm wondering, and maybe for others listening, they could chime in the comments or within their own head. But like when you're not used to something, or if something's even in a different language, like say Sin Vergüenza, which our last episode, a lot of it might sound the same because you're not actually familiar with that type of music and that nuance.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, and I'm not saying, yeah, I understand what you're saying because, you know, we probably all have that similar sentiment, but maybe people listening in Nigeria were like, wow, every single one of these beats is super diverse. And it's like, oh, okay. So like, you know, how are they listening to it? Or if you're not, I think it's actually kind of interesting too. And we'll see more stuff like that, I guess, as we're exposed to, you know, different music from other places.
As far as the go, like the beat sounds like a fight song that should have been on Fight Night Champion, like a boxing video game. The hook was straight to me, but the end part made no sense. Like you make me go like, what? Like and it was just like you make me go like, and then the melody and like so. I guess you make me go hoo hoo, like you touch the Pillsbury Doughboy stomach and hoo hoo. Yeah, I mean I guess the sound. But Limo was flexing on that verse, though. Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed it when he raps and sings and bring it forth. Like he does that a lot on some tracks. You know what I mean, and it's super dope. I love when he does that. And this is one of the standout verses on the album for me from him. The Truth was dropping gems like a clumsy bank robber on his verse, though. You know what I mean? And it was really powerful and impactful, showcasing why he is considered one of the CHH GOATs. This was the only record that was not Caribbean themed. And I wish, you know, that the bridge was more two-sided, but maybe they just, you know, were going for like just targeting a new audience, you know, sonically. But, you know, hey, I enjoyed it while I was here.
Yeah, man, I won't add too much to what these guys said. Content-wise, the one thing I will say is there's something very sweet about Limo referring to God as Baba. I thought that was so dope. And it's way better than when American Christians call him Daddy God. Don't do that. That's weird. Please, it's strange. Just stop it now. But anyway, very sweet Limo. Love the song. The next one.
Dropping gems like a clumsy bank robber. I don't think I've ever heard that before.
That's a bar in itself. Don't be stealing my bars in the comments. I hear y'all.
All right, so the next track is Intermission.
Yeah, Intermission. This one's got a really cool guitar sample, and then later on it adds layers. There's like trumpets in the background, and and he's talking about everything from like, and he's talking about Jim Crow. He's talking about Columbus. And the hook is really, really catchy here. The second verse is great, the way it builds underneath, the Truth performance. And he says, I could blame God. I'm not a product of my environment. My environment is a product of me. I liked some of this stuff. And then there was a third verse. Like, it's always astounding to me sometimes whenever, like in modern hip hop anymore, a third verse. And so I appreciated this song. I thought it was really strong, just conceptually and thematically, and then just the way it was structured was good.
All right, I agree, bro. You know, this one brought it back to the motherland, and it kind of felt like a Damian Marley record with some of the elements of the production. I totally dug it. The hook was solid, but Truth jumped off the top rope with the elbow drop. But these verses, bro, he hit the people elbow and the Hogan leg drop at the same time. I don't even think that's physically possible. You know what I'm saying? He touched on so much history, the current dealings, the stereotypes of being black men in America, the feelings that surrounding case like the verdicts, what happened with Breonna Taylor. I think that this may be one of my favorite songs on our project thus far, just because of the transparency you know what I'm saying, that they both like let out, you know what I mean, and brought up.
There's something really special about this track, particularly in mid-2020. We're dealing with the rise of Black Lives Matter and SARS happening concurrently, where it's like we're all just sort of waking up to like this rude awakening of what's going on to Black and brown people globally, not just in our particular context. That bar that Luke brought up, I'm not a product of my environment. My environment's a product of me. I thought that was so dope, not because like I don't want it to seem like it's because history doesn't affect people, because that's not. I don't think that's what it was meant to say. but just this idea, like we have responsibility to take control of our environments, to contribute, to change the narrative, to do better.